Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
And so as we now prepare ourselves and make our way back on over into getting a better look at the events that appear to be transpiring within Universe 16, it looks as though our heroes are now placed in a very difficult and sticky situation, especially since they are now face to face with none other than Lord Pharix. But even now I do hope that for both Goku and Vegeta's sake, if they wish to move forward without a hitch, then it's better to remember to work together and set aside any differences that you may face, as teamwork may be the only calling that either of those warriors are going to have remaining.
As our story now opens up following the initial battle involving Universe 15's God of Destruction Gardox and Beast Gohan having to then make its way back on over into Universe 7, as with Universe 7's God of Destruction Beerus alongside Whis then shown having to make their way towards Piccolo and Gohan was when Whis then went on to respond. Well, I must say that although it was quite surprising to see you all arrive despite being shown engaging against another God of Destruction in battle, I will admit and say that I'm rather impressed with Beerus chiming in. Yes, as am I, but that still doesn't change the fact that I still demand to know about how this all came to pass, along with more about what this new beast power that this Saiyan mortal was shown using in battle, Beerus says, for I find it to be a rather interesting power to say the least, with Whis chiming back in. And while you do that, I'll just go and heal you both back up as you enlighten us on what had happened between you all here today, to which as Whis was then shown having to heal both Gohan and Piccolo was when Piccolo then went on to respond. Well, prior to Universe 15's God of Destruction arriving on Earth, we had already been dealing with the Red Ribbon Army having to suddenly return, and with them, they went and created a monstrous new enemy for us to battle against named Cell Max, who was so unstable and so powerful that it ultimately forced us into acquiring new levels of power, especially with Gohan, Piccolo says. And it really wasn't long after Gohan had destroyed Cell Max was when Lord Gardox suddenly then showed up in demanding to know on who was responsible for the sudden burst of massive power that he had felt from all the way across the universe, which only from there moving forward, the rest is all history from there, with Beerus then having to then chime in. And so you're saying that he just suddenly arrived and demanded to know the source of the power responsible for destroying this Cell Max? I see, then it must have been shortly after the Grand Priest was shown taking his leave after coming here, and then what happened, Beerus questions? Well, at that point, Piccolo says, there were several things that he made us undergo before finally having to get the chance to fight Lord Gardox head on, but it was mainly Gohan who he was more interested in than anyone else, with Beerus then having to approach Gohan by responding, well, it's not really hard to see on why that was, especially now after seeing all that I was able to see come from you when the two of you just suddenly appeared from out of nowhere when you did. But aside from this beast power of yours, what was that other strange power that you were starting to unravel before your daughter had stopped the battle, Beerus questions? Well, truthfully, I really hate to sound so clueless here, but what other strange power are you talking about, Lord Beerus? My beast form was all that I had been using out there against Lord Gardox the entire time, or at least I think I was the entire time. Right, is that so, Beerus questions? Because it sounds to me like you're hiding something, and so now cough it up, boy. Are you? With Pan quickly having to then intervene. Hey, my papa wouldn't lie or go and hide anything from you, Mr. Beerus. Beerus. My papa had to go through so much just to simply get the chance to finally fight Mr. Green, and so just please leave my papa out of any more trouble, Mr. Beerus, okay? Hey, it's okay, sweetie, Gohan responds. Lord Beerus doesn't mean any harm by the questions that he's asking. He's just curious to know more about what happened, that's all. Yes, I am rather curious about something, Beerus went on to then chime back in, but I never would have expected for my curiosity to come from you of all mortals. But then again, perhaps there is more to your skill and sheer potential than I ever would have cared to look for, Beerus continues. So maybe you can actually prove to be rather useful, especially with what it was that I just saw take place here a few minutes ago, with Gohan questioning, and if you don't mind me asking, but useful for what exactly, Lord Beerus? Quiet, I'm thinking here. Yes, perhaps this could be exactly what it was that I needed in order to take myself even further in reaching the next level of power. And so now what say you, Whis? For you did happen to mention the things that you had said earlier as a means of including a third party, didn't you? And so now I have an idea, with Piccolo then shown addressing Gohan by then responding, well, since we're finally out of that mess and away from finding ourselves locked in yet another battle, what do you say we go and head back home and check in with the others and see how they're doing along with rest for a little while, with Gohan responding, yeah, well, I actually like the sound of that a lot, Piccolo, plus I have to get back to my studies anyway since I have a presentation to submit in about a week. Speaking of checking in with the others, Piccolo went on to then interrupt, I can't seem to sense Goku or Vegeta's energies anywhere, so any idea on where you think they might be if they're not here, with Gohan responding, well, actually, come to think of it, yeah, I thought my dad and Vegeta would already be here, and so if they're not, then they're either training somewhere else or maybe they're just back home, but we should go and check just to be. But then it was just before Gohan could even go as far as to finish was when Beerus went on to then interrupt, you will go and do no such thing, Saiyan, for your daughter and the Namekian can gladly take their leave while I go and have we send them both back home, but you, on the other hand, aren't going anywhere because you'll be staying here with me. And in case you're wondering on why, well, my answer to you is quite simple, Beerus continues, and that is because you and I are going to have a quick little sparring contest. And as I want to go on ahead and gauge you for a moment so that way I could be sure with the decision that I'm thinking about making, and so the rest could leave but you will stay, with Piccolo then questioning, wait, you what? You want to go and have a sparring match with Gohan? Hold on, really? You want to go and fight me here and as in like now? Like as in like right now? Oh, well, it doesn't sound as though he's joking about this either, so geez, could this day get any worse for me? Oh, well, this doesn't sound too good. As all the while in the meantime, when then venturing back on over into Universe 16 and seeing the events follow involving Goku, Vegeta, and God of Destruction Pharix was when Goku then went on to quickly add, so that's what this was all about? Oh, great, and since he knows that we were actually directly training under both Whis and Lord Beerus, it sounds like this is far more personal now for him since he also knows that Whis and Lord Beerus trust us both. And you can see that he's not joking, and so this is more than likely a bragging rights contest for this God of Destruction than anything else. Well, it's obvious now, but there's no way that you are going to force me into getting into that tomb, Destroyer, Vegeta responds. And so we'll gladly accept your offer and battle you here and now, but what are you truly after here that you are so curious to know more about? Because if what you are saying is true, then what's in it for you? With God of Destruction Pharix responding, well, it's actually quite simple, for I am nothing like your bloated, ego-driven destroyer, and so what is in it for me is not hard to understand. The satisfaction that I seek in measuring both of your powers stems from my desire to redefine the hierarchy among our universe, as Beerus has always been too complacent in his superiority, bolstered by your successes in having you do his job for him, but by defeating you both in combat would mean that I would dismantle his faith within you mortals alongside his pride, in further proving that his top-tier fighters are only but minor stepping stones to the true gods of destruction. And although I hold nothing personal against Beerus, one fact that I will state is simply that I just never liked his attitude in always assuming that both he and his universe were number one, and so we will decide it with this. Now pay attention, for if this coin toss were to land on both of your faces, then I will grant you the liberty to go and use your strongest levels of power against me, as I will battle you both head-on even at the same time if I must. And so if this coin toss were to land on your heads, then you will engage me both together. However, if this coin toss were to land on death, then you will both be removed from this world and sent into another realm where you will have to find your way back into this reality or face the risk of being sealed away from this timeline forever. And so this coin will determine your future, mortals. And should fortune favor my curiosity after tossing this coin, Pharix continues, then I will go and seize this moment to delve into the enigma that is of this third Saiyan over there. Yes, and if what you had said about his strength is true, then his raw and untamed power will be tested to see if it's worth its rumored presence or not. And to witness such a force under such conditions that favor me like the one that we are in now is an experiment which I am very keen to undertake. But what say you, Pharix questions? What better way to assess his rumored might than when fate itself conspires with me, am I right? Yes, you appear very tense, mortal creature. You should try and relax yourself, for we are not yet engaged in battle without finding out if they will be going first or not. Pharix went on to address Broly by responding, but either way we will soon see, and so come now and let us decide, for I'll make sure to hold up my end of the deal if and only if you Saiyans can go as far as to hold up your end of the deal as well, as it surely won't be easy, but nothing ever really is, isn't that right? Now let us be fair and trust that the outcome of this coin toss will prove beneficial. Pharix went on to then flip his coin, as Vegeta then went on to chime in, oh, just wonderful. Well, brace yourself for the worst, Kakarot, because this one appears to be far more relaxed than many of the other destroyers that we've encountered, and I don't like it. And so prepare for anything at this point, and please tell me that you went and brought some senzu beans with you. Wait, what do you mean? I don't have any senzu beans on me, Vegeta. We never had a chance to go and visit Dende and Korin since these guys started showing up, with Vegeta responding, oh, you idiot! Of course you didn't bother to go and grab some when the moment called for you to have them. I should have known. Good job, Kakarot, which upon Pharix being shown now having to catch his coin was when Pharix then went on to continue, and thus your fates have been decided, Saiyans, as one must now ponder on whether or not Lord Beerus had truly readied you both for what lies beyond your current reality, but I trust and hope that you are, Pharix continues, because I do want to see on just how skillful Lord Beerus' students of the 7th truly are when up against the Master, and so I hope that you are both able to understand that this is now a trial where the stakes are at their highest, and if you start to lose sight of your purpose or fail to navigate your way back, then you will be devoured by the darkness that awaits you and forgotten by the annals of both time and history forever. That much I will leave you with, and so now, my faithful Veer, come and claim these unwashed souls and bring them into the realm where each and every one of their actions, along with each and every single one of their choices, come with a staggering price to pay. To which instantly now from out of nowhere, as two ghoulish ghosts were then shown having to grab both Goku and Vegeta from behind, was when Goku then went on to shout, whoa, hey, just what in the world is this? Oh, just where the heck did these things just jump out from? Oh, damn it, and why can't I go and move my body? Just what's going on? I don't know, Kakarot, but where is that bastard ordering these little ghouls to go and drag us both into? Quickly, Kakarot, we have to jump into our ultra levels and break away from them right now before it's... But then, it was just before Vegeta and Goku even had the opportunity to go and do such a thing was when the ghoulish Veer were then shown dragging both Saiyans within the darkness of the tombs, as Vegeta then went on to shout, God damn it! You haven't beaten us just yet, God of Destruction! You hear me? Oh no! Broly, listen, whatever you do, and no matter how bad things get out here while we're gone, just try and control your anger like how we trained you! And so don't lose control or you'll... But it was already too late, because with the Veer now successfully shown having to drag both Goku and Vegeta within the darkness of these tombs, as these tombs were now beginning to be sealed shut, was when Pharix then went on to continue, enough of this nonsense, as if anything that either of you will say will even matter at this point anyways, but nevertheless, it seems as though we found ourselves in a rather unique unique predicament, haven't we, mortal? As here we stand, just you and I, with those two momentarily brushed aside, the stage is now set for just you and me, Saiyan. As I am now rather curious on what that Goku had mentioned about this power that you harbor, and so therefore I want to see it. So now show me. And show Destroyer Pharix he did, because with Broly listening to Goku and not having to lose control but instead powering up to his Akari form was when Pharix then went on to continue. And so now don't listen to those whom are no longer here with us, Saiyan, because if you truly are every bit as gifted as your ally claimed for you to be, then present it. And while I assume that this power that you wield now is only but the base level to your actual strength, I'm beginning to wonder on why you were told to control yourself as best as you can upon our immediate battle. Broly then went on to dash in, when you should already know that it would be a death sentence if you don't show me your best, mortal. Goku had spoken of your restraints, but there's something more behind whatever this is after all, isn't there? Yes, I can feel it, Pharix continues. And while that Saiyan spoke of your restraint, there's an undeniable depth to your strength that I sense coming from deep within you. A destructive potential that parallels the instincts of a destroyer. Interesting. It's as if within you burns the same insatiable lust for chaos and carnage as we gods share. But why do you hold such power at bay? And more importantly, Pharix continues, is why haven't you been chosen to be trained by the gods of your respective universe, creature? Could it be due to you being as unworthy to be trained by a god as anyone else? Or is that because you are simply unable to contend with the nature of one? Pharix went on to respond upon Broly being shown missing his strike. But what say you, Rizal? Am I wrong for believing that this creature should liberate himself against me freely? Or was that Saiyan harboring more information from me than I assumed? As Pharix went on to then backhand Broly across the face with Rizal responding, although I will say that not much is really known about this Saiyan here, given the nature of his power being fairly unknown to us within the moment as this battle ensues. I do, however, believe that he is not like the other two in regards to his power being as high and his skills being as sharp, which is why I do believe that even while visiting Universe 7 when watching Lord Reno battle against Lord Beerus, and I did happen to notice the Saiyan Goku talking Broly down into getting him to not lose control, and so I do believe that this isn't for just any unknown reason either, my lord. As Pharix went on to grab onto Broly's punch by responding, then this creature is as useful to me as any other mortal is, which means that without him being taken under the wing of a god and made out to be trained by one, then he is nothing more than just a byproduct of his universe and nothing more, despite this potential that I sensed coming from him, as even now, potential can only take you so far when up against proficiency. And so in the meantime, Pharix continues upon now being shown summoning two ghoulish arms popping up from the sands below and grabbing onto Broly's ankles by then suddenly having to respond, while I wait to see if any of your mortal allies will be mentally sharp enough to find their way out and back onto my world. You, however, will be fed to my many pets that I keep beneath the ground in which you stand on. And while I trust that at least one of your friends will return to me with a worthy acceptance to my challenge, you, however, will not. Quicksand, in case you didn't already know, as Broly was beginning to sink on down, so you can struggle all you want because it won't matter one way or another, Saiyan. Ridiculous. And here you had me excited to see on just why you were kept under the watchful eye of your Saiyan friends, only for you to be proven useless. To which even then, despite with Broly shown struggling and having to escape this quicksand, as he was only then being shown brought underneath it, was when Pharix then went on to walk away by then continuing, so it's evident to me now that raw power alone is insignificant when lacking proper direction, and without the guidance of Beerus and Whis, he flails, powerful yet undirected. For Goku and Vegeta have transcended their limits through divine mentorship, while this Broly had been left to his own devices, crumbling beneath the weight of his failures without proper control. And so now come, Rizal, for we will carry on with our business elsewhere while I wait to see on what the result of their actions will be within the coming hour. As Rizal then went on to respond, well, that was fast to say the least, but do you even believe that the mortals will even be able to find their way out and back onto this world, Lord Pharix? Because it does sound to me like you doubt their ability to even be able to do it, my lord, as Pharix went on to then respond, I don't, for they will become far more interested in dabbling within other realities to even pay attention, Pharix continues, as I would only expect that Beerus and Whis have trained their minds just as much as they have trained their bodies to understand the difference between monetary instinct and poisonous curiosity, Rizal, as the question becomes more about will they be more interested in dabbling with their alternate choices and decisions, or will they be far more interested in accepting the outcome of their current choices and decisions and navigate their way through by returning to me? Will it be the illusion of an alternate reality, or will it be the current truth to which they face? For this, we will wait and see. To which, in the meantime, as both Goku and Vegeta were now seemingly brought into this realm by the hands of the Veer, was when the Veer then went on to respond, yes, in you go, Saiyan, as I hereby welcome you courtesy of the great and all-powerful Lord Pharix into the Window Realm. For in this realm here, the fabric of existence is thinner than the edge of a blade, further allowing us to peer into the countless realities where every decision you made, every battle that you've waged, and every situation that you were placed in had unfolded in various different ways across each and every single timeline that you just so happen to be involved in, the Veer continues, as each window you see is a portal to a life that you are living or had once lived in, where every choice and every action is different than the ones here. For this is a place where we can explore and peer into the consequences of the actions that were not shown having to be made, battles that you may never had fought within, and alliances that may never had been formed, the Veer continues. But this too does not come without a price, as you will need to find your way back to Lord Pharix, and you will only be given 3 chances to do so, or you will be trapped here with us forever. As Lord Pharix wants to see if either of you mortals have what it takes to possess the proper mental capacity in choosing correctly, but choose incorrectly among any of these windows after failing 3 times, and you will find yourselves ensnared in this realm for all of eternity, trapped as a mere spectator within the confines of time, forever gazing upon the river of history without the means to swim ashore, even if you die, because if you were to perish here, then you will become a Veer just like us. So whichever window you choose to open, you better hope that it is the right one, with Vegeta then having to chime in, the Window Realm? Wait, so you're meaning to tell me that each of these screens is an actual window into looking within an alternate timeline where the events of the outcome of each and every single one of my actions are vastly different, and more importantly different than the ones that I had made in this timeline? So I have 3 chances to go and choose to look into any of these in hopes of finding my way back? That is correct, Saiyan. And so now go and choose any of these windows by tapping onto whichever window you think is the correct one that is calling for you to go back into the timeline which you currently belong in, as if you just so happen to select the wrong timeline and wish for me to answer any of the lingering questions that you may have about what you see, then I will provide you with the information needed in order to answer your questions. As Goku then went on to respond, oh wow, and so I only have 3 chances to pick and choose whichever window I believe is the right one that I'm supposed to go back into, or I'm going to risk just falling short and then being stuck here? Oh, well, that isn't good, but I guess I better start looking then, as it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the Resurrected Fallen Gods of Destruction, the Universe 15/Universe 16 Sagas Manga Chapter number 1 special then comes to a close.
Actually, I'll go and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something with all of our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing. As not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link it all down in the description box below and pinned comment section. Now, I will say that Universe 16's Destroyer is by no means an easy opposition to go against, especially not while having to battle Lord Pharix alone. But even now, I will admit that I'm curious on which of these unknown timelines Goku and Vegeta will happen to stumble across, as once again, just in case you weren't paying attention, mention, Broly is being told to reserve himself in battle and not unleash his full power against Lord Pharix, and that is without a doubt for a very important reason, so you do not want to miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video, as before you leave, do make sure to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as subscribing to UnrealEntGaming's channel in case you are new around here. We thank you all for watching and hope you all have a wonderful day, everyone, as we'll see you all in the next one.
Hello! Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi!
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.